Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Proceeding Onward in America, POA. My name is Becky, and this is an episode of What to Expect While RVing. We're at episode number 16, and we're well along in our journey of our pregnancy. We actually reached 36 weeks this week. So we have about 4 more weeks to go. Next week will be full term, so anything can change. But just wanted to let you all know that we do have a special guest tonight. And her name is Jessica. She's from Garcias On Wheels. And they actually had a little one not too long ago. I'm not going to go into too many details because I want her to tell her story and so forth. But it's going to be very exciting to learn from her on all the things that changed since they now are living with a baby inside a fifth wheel. So can't wait to get to that moment, but I do want to say hello to some people that have arrived in the chat. So let me get to there real quick. And we had Darian. Hello. How are you doing? I see that you had some thunderstorms happening for you at the moment. So hopefully everything goes well for you and no harm, no foul. And then we also have Angelina. Hello. How you doing, sweetheart? I hope you're doing well. Hey, school's going to be starting pretty soon. You have a couple more days left. And hello to Diary of a Family. Thank you for joining us. How are you all doing? I know you guys had a live stream earlier today and I missed it. I'm sorry, but I hope everything is going well. I'll check it out later. And, oh, I'm doing great. So since you led into that, I am doing well at 36 weeks. I am starting to get dizzy a little bit more. And I'm drinking a lot more water. It's about 90 degrees here, but with the heat index, it's over 100 degrees. So it's been super hot lately. So I'm just making sure that I'm keeping my feet up to help with the swelling. I'm drinking more to help with the dizziness. I still have trouble walking for too long. It starts giving me the Braxton Hicks. So I try to just limit what I'm doing. And Jag is chewing on his bone. Can you please fix that? Thank you. Jag is inside. It's so hot outside and everything, and I don't want him suffering. So sorry about that. But welcome to the real life. He now thinks Fabian's going to be playing with him. But yeah. And you have 2 days left before school starts? I thought you started on the 30th. Oh, well, yeah, technically 2 days. I thought it was the 31st, but it's okay. Mental health check, doing great, actually. Thank you for asking. It's going very well. I'm getting ready. I got the baby room all set up. So hopefully next week, I'll show you some of the stuff that we did in the baby room. I'm not going to bring on that journey today because we have a special guest. But we'll show you what we did in the baby's room and so forth, and how we got ready for our little bundle of joy. So as we go on, if any more people come in and so forth, I'll say hello to them and plays Bam Bam with the like button. Yes, if you haven't hit that like button, please hit that like button as you come in and so forth. Yep, smash it. And we go from there. Okay, perfect. So as more people come in, that would be great. And I'll see everybody then. I have my little notes here so I don't forget. So we do have a video that's coming out tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. And it's traveling into Montana and going to our harvest host and enjoying our time there in Montana. So our last one, if you've seen it, we actually had some tire issues. Needless to say, we caught it before it exploded. Fabian's very diligent at making sure that the tires are okay whenever we stop. And you should always check them when you're traveling. When you stop at a gas station, you should still check them and so forth. And we had stopped at a Cabela's, which gives you free camping for a night. And before we left that morning, we saw some tire wear on our right side. And yeah, you could start seeing the metal and the wire. I guess it's the wiring of it and so forth. So we slowly made our way to a station for the tire people to look at, and we took out our spare and they put it on for us for free. So thank goodness. So Les Schwab, I believe is how you say it. Thank you for that and helping us. And needless to say, that isn't the only thing that ended up happening as we were traveling across from the West Coast to the East Coast. In those videos, you'll see that we have, again, more tire issues. So even though that one got fixed, needless to say, other things started happening on the left side. But you'll see those as we go along. But we do have some great videos coming out of us in Montana and then going to like Yellowstone and everything. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button and that ring that bell so that way you don't miss any of these videos that are coming out and so forth. Oh, they are called steel belts in the tires. Thank you, Darian. I appreciate it. And we are in the Virginia area. Your mom knows exactly where, sweetheart. But right now we try to keep it a little bit private because I'm here on Navy orders and we're going to be here for a little bit. And we just want to keep that private until at least after the baby comes and everything, because I don't want random people coming to visit unless if we know them and so forth. Dreaming Out Loud, thank you for coming. And we do know you. So if you do make it over here, you know where we're at as well, because we talked in the past. But yeah, thank you for joining us and everything. And everybody else is just saying hello to everybody. So perfect. And then, yep, I think that's pretty much it because I don't want to take up too much of your time. I want to introduce our guest and everything and let you meet Jessica and baby Reno. So let me get to that point of introducing them. 1 second.
Hello. That was a very nice intro. I wasn't expecting that. That was really awesome to see.
You're welcome. I will send you a copy of that when we're all done and everything, just so you know. So you can show Reno, so for everybody that doesn't know, Reno is her husband, and then she has Reno Jr. with her.
Actually, the third.
The third. Okay, I'm sorry.
I know, it gets confusing because now there's 3 of them.
Oh, goodness gracious. Do you think you're going to have a little nickname to help distinguish between them all now?
You know, I call his dad Senior, and I've always done that since we've been dating. And I just call Reno or Honey, and this one I actually just call Reno or Baby Love Bugs. But everybody else has their nicknames for him, so it's been interesting to see what they're calling him.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, our little one's going to be Fabian Jr., so we kept it simple. And actually, Fabian made a joke earlier. He's like, I like to call him Junior, even though he's still in the belly, right? And he likes to call him JR. And he's like, hey, look, Jessica and Reno, JR. Oh, my goodness.
That's pretty good.
It is. He has a creative mind.
He does. He is very creative.
So, but before we get too far into it, a lot of the people that are in the chat may not have known about you or your channel. So feel free to give them a little bit of a background of your channel, who you are, and so forth.
Yes, so we are Garcias on Wheels, and that started because my husband really wanted to make videos. Reno really wanted to make videos. He loved watching travel videos, YouTube. But pre-pandemic, I should say, we actually didn't have a truck when we got this fifth wheel. So we became more stationary. So that's how a lot of our stationary stuff began, because we weren't able to travel very much. And then we got the truck during the pandemic, so we were able to take a few trips. And then I became pregnant, and then with work, so we again became more stationary. So our channel has been focusing a lot about stationary. I know about stationary RVing, because a lot of RV channels, you know, especially the bigger ones, you see is a lot of traveling and everything. There wasn't a lot of stationary, you know, like simple things like, you know, how do you hook this up, or, you know, power, things like that. So we wanted to have our channel be more of that focus. I mean, there are a lot of baking videos here and there, because as everybody, when you're quarantined, you know, decide to bake bread and everything. So there's a lot of that too.
Yeah, you have a delicious recipe on there for banana bread that I'm going to have to try when it's not so freaking hot.
Yeah. I hear that.
It is way too hot to run that oven right now.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in the same boat. You're over in California area, so yeah. Mm-hmm. Are the wildfires and all that close to you by chance at all? Or are you guys good for this year?
They are close enough to where we get the smoke. So actually, yesterday was a really bad air quality day. It got up to almost 200 in the area that we're in. So again, the fires aren't right here. They're probably about maybe 3-4 hours away, but the smoke travels over here. So that's what we're getting. We're getting the lovely smoke.
Okay. Well, hopefully it stays far away, and hopefully the air quality doesn't get too bad. Mm-hmm. We were over in Washington State last year when the wildfires were happening, and then we were leaving, and it was following us as we left Washington. It was following us as we were into like Montana, and in our videos you could actually see it. Like the day that we're traveling, it's beautiful. Then the next day it's like all smoky. Then you go a little bit, it's nice, and then it's all smoky the next day, and we're like, oh.
I had to bring up my a respirator mask. Reno's dad used to work in a paint shop, and when the Paradise Fire happened in California, that's when our air quality really went, you know, crazy, as everybody did in California. And I have really bad asthma, so I needed something. So he said, put this mask on. You know, it's supposed to prevent like paint and everything too from coming in. And I put that thing on, and I may look like a transformer, but I can breathe, and it filters out the smoke, and I'm very happy. I get weird looks at work, but it's totally fine.
If you can breathe, that's all that matters.
I know. I have to wear a mask anyway, so I figured, you know, let's look like a transformer.
Yeah, I'm glad you said transformer and not Decepticon.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. So tell people a little bit about what you do and so forth, since you mentioned about going to work and stuff.
Yes. So Reno and I actually both do the same job. We work at one of our local high schools, and we're instructional assistants for a special education class. So he's actually in an English class. I'm in a math class. It's called Resource SDC. So they're still diploma track, but they're at a slower pace, how they learn. And then Reno also owns a sound, lighting, and staging business, and he's owned that since 2009. So we do like local concerts. We have a contract with one of the cities. Reno is actually doing a show right now at one of the wineries that's in the local area. So we have that as well. That's
really cool. Now, does he get to? Oh, never mind. You guys don't drink or anything, so never mind. I was going to say, does he get like some awesome bottles and all that?
You know, he's been paid with bottle, or they've gifted him some bottles. as well, and he was like, I don't know what to do with these, so I think he gave them away to some friends that wanted them or something like that. So okay, works great.
That works great. You'd be like, hey, here's a Christmas gift. Here you go. Yeah. I used to like wine a lot. I haven't been drinking. I actually stopped drinking before we got pregnant. I just wanted to make that transition and so forth, get ready, because we knew we wanted to have a child. We just didn't know when the child would come. So I do miss my wine, but I don't think I'll be going back. We'll see once we have a kid. But speaking of having the kid, do you want to tell your lovely story of how little man came into this world?
Yes, because he had a very dramatic entrance, I should say. The day he was born, I woke up and I just had like contractions here and there, super mild, nothing crazy. They were like 30 minutes apart. Nothing, I kept thinking to myself, I'm probably not going to go to the hospital till maybe tomorrow, because everybody tells you with your first, everything goes super slow. So I wasn't really sweating it. Then they started getting like, 20 minutes apart, 15 minutes apart. I probably started tracking it maybe around 2 o'clock-ish, 2:30-ish in the afternoon. And they were still like 15 minutes apart, 12 minutes apart. So again, nothing super crazy, just, just because they were getting closer, I just wanted to track and see if they were going to be any closer. And it got to about dinner time. We were actually at our pastor's house because on Wednesdays we eat dinner with them. So because we all live on the property, on the church property and everything. So during the pandemic, actually, we started having dinner with them on Wednesday nights. It just became a thing, and then we just continued on with it. So it's probably almost about 6 at this point. And my contractions were, again, still 10 minutes apart, but they were lasting like 2 minutes long. Very long. I still have my contraction app, and you could see it's like they're lasting like 1:40, 1:30, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. They were lasting really long. And I'm like, I don't feel so good. I was actually starting to get a little bit nauseous. I'm like, I'm going to lay on their couch just because I just, these contractions are pretty painful. I'm just going to go lay down. And then I'm like, even though they're 10 minutes apart, they're lasting so long, I'm just going to call labor and delivery. So I call labor and delivery, and they, I know, it's all about you, huh? And they said, you have to be 2 to 3 minutes apart. You'll know when you're in active labor, essentially is what they said. And I hung up the phone, and maybe within a minute, the contractions just started happening every like 30 seconds, a minute and a half. And I felt the urge to push, and I felt burning. So if any of you have ever had children out there, you know what I'm talking about. It's an unexplainable feeling. It's the weirdest thing. I can't explain it until you've experienced it. So then we call labor and delivery again, and they're like, "Oh no, call 911. You're about to have this baby." So they're, a pastor's wife's on the phone with labor and delivery. Everybody else is like grabbing the things. We have someone who's calling 911, and it was insane. Thankfully, the paramedics came because Reno was like 10 minutes from delivering this baby, and he did not want to deliver a baby on the couch, and I didn't want to either.
In the pastor's house.
Yeah, I know, right? We're in the ambulance. We're driving to the hospital. We get to the ambulance bay, and everybody's out there waiting for us. People from labor and delivery, the hospital manager. It's insane. So they get us up. They get me up to triage, and the nurse or midwife checks me, and she's like, "You're 10 centimeters with a bulging bag." So I was 10 centimeters, but my water did not break. So the first thought in my mind is, I don't want to do this without drugs. That was like my very first, I remember saying that out loud. I don't want to do this without drugs. But unfortunately, I could not get the epidural. It was, so they broke my water, and I pushed him out in about, I think that I read the notes, and it said about 20 minutes or 22 minutes. He was out, and according to the notes, I had what's called precipitous labor or spontaneous labor, as they call it. and I didn't know that was a thing. It's pretty much you're in active labor for like less than like a couple hours. So we're all healthy. Thankfully he was healthy. I had some complications after. I had some hemorrhaging and things like that because of the precipitous labor. But thankfully I'm on the mend, and we've been healthy ever since. I actually feel way better than I did being pregnant, so I was thankful for that too. So that is his lovely entrance. We have a more in-depth video on our channel that actually has everybody's point of view of how it went down. So it's actually really cool to see what everybody was thinking during the time, because there was probably, I think, 1, 2, 3, like 5 or 6 people involved during the whole thing. So it was a whirlwind, but I'm thankful you're here. We're healthy, and 3 months in, and here we are.
Yay! I didn't know about that. Like, you can just all of a sudden just go. I'm sitting here with Fabi. I'm like, oh, it's going to take hours. This is what they said in the baby class. It's going to take hours. I could be up 12 hours of doing this, and then we have this many hours of doing that. That's good to know. You can have it spontaneously and just be like,
yes.
Okay, here we go.
My plan was to have an epidural. It wasn't the worst experience like I thought it was gonna be, but I don't think I will want to do that again. My OB actually told me, she's like, if you decide to have another one, you will most likely be induced, because if you've had this type of labor, you could have it again and it could be faster. And I'm like, if it's going to be faster, I'm going to wait in the hospital. As soon as I start feeling contractions, I'm going to sit in the parking lot so we don't have to have that again.
That might be a smart idea.
I know, it was crazy. And then there's people like my sister-in-law who had like 3 days worth of labor and then ended up having a C-section. So everybody is completely, it's insane how different everything can be.
Yep. Even Forever Best Friends, she says the same thing. Every pregnancy is different. You never know. And I want to say hello. Thank you for joining us and so forth. And it's about time now. Join us as well. And they said back in the day, no epidural. You can breathe through and able to push more effectively.
You know, that is something I did notice about. I mean, I obviously it's my only child, so I've never had labor before, but I did notice that my body just did it. Like, it just pushed him out. They would tell me, okay, time to take a break from pushing. And I kept telling them, my body's doing this. I cannot stop it. It was physically pushing him out. They're like, okay, let's continue then. So it was all, I mean, I don't want to say it wasn't a lot of work, because it was, but it felt like my body just took over and I was just laying there. It was a really insane and surreal experience.
And I'll be experiencing that pretty soon.
Yes, don't let my story scare you. Again, everybody's different. And yeah, so don't let it scare you.
Yeah, I won't at all. That's one of the reasons why after this week, I go into work for a couple of days, and then I'm going to be teleworking. So that way I can be at home. So if something should come up, it's about a 45-minute drive from where I'm at to where I'm delivering. So I'm not dealing with any of that stuff. So I'm just going to work from home from there on out. The Navy and all that over in this area, we've actually gone up to the next higher level. So we can't all be working anyway. So it actually works out to my benefit. And my command was like, okay, well, one less person we have to worry about being in the office when we can only have 25% here. So telework, have fun.
Yeah.
So I got very lucky on that. Oh, I also want to say hello to New Vision Residential. Hello. Thank you, Blake, for joining us. Thank you. And yes, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below and so forth. And make sure you indicate who you're typing to so we know who you're asking the questions for. And way to make an entrance into this world.
Yes, you did.
So yeah, he's so precious.
He
Oh, do you
is.
want to say uh he you well, I'll just say you were he's 3 months old now.
Yes.
Yes. So how are the things in the RV life with a 3 month old?
It has definitely changed. One of the things we had to think about while making the registry and things like that and preparing for his arrival was we had to get creative with space and organization. Um, Reno and his dad actually built the crib in our mid bunk. There's actually a video on that about their plan and how they did it. Our mid bunk only had a couch. So we took the couch out and then he built the bed. That way we can have storage and space underneath it. Because regular cribs, as you know, only have like maybe a drawer or two underneath. They don't have a lot of storage space. So he got creative and saw someone else in a different channel make bunk beds essentially for their kids. So we he did that. We actually got a custom baby mattress. I didn't know they made those, but you can order custom mattresses. So for the size that we needed, they made the custom mattress for the crib. Even though he sleeps in the bassinet right now in our bedroom, but yes, space and organization was definitely key. We have or trying to have a space for everything. We have like his high chair, one of his swings that fold up. That way they're easier to store. We have things that are foldable and just we actually have a bottle drying system that's also storage. So we wash the bottles, put them in there, and it stores the bottles and it dries them at the same time. There's a little rack underneath that you just take out and dump out, dump the water out and put back in. So it's been a journey trying to figure it out. I mean, we're still figuring out. We're still tweaking our system here and there because we can have it in our heads how we want things to go, how we want things organized, but having him has been different. Some things have completely worked. Like the crib is really awesome. We have like a cloth dresser and everything underneath that has worked really awesome. But there's still things that don't have a space for, so we're constantly organizing. Like our cabinet behind us, we have things in there. We're going through some of the other cabinets, getting rid of stuff that we don't need, and trying to store stuff in those cabinets as well. So we're still adapting and adjusting, but it's doable. It is doable. You just have to get creative with the organization and space and really use that noggin of yours. And Amazon is your best friend.
Yes.
Amazon's the best.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we actually have Amazon Prime, but I only have it just because of like the baby shower and like for the registry and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed how great it's been. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of like a toilet paper hoarder right now. I went to Amazon and I bought like 96 rolls of toilet paper because I'm like, I'll be whatever. I don't want to say the exact words on here, but I am not going to run out of toilet paper when I'm trying to breastfeed and take care of this child. So I went to Amazon. I'm like, 96 things of toilet paper. Yes.
We do Costco. So we, the Costco toilet paper, we go there and we buy a package or two depending on how low we are, and it's been nice since we've been back at work because now we're not using all of our toilet paper at once.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand it's when you're adjusting to the mom life and especially in a smaller space, you don't want to go out very often, and it's hard when you're the one that does the grocery shopping.
Oh yeah.
I could send Reno with a list and he'd have no idea what I was talking about at all. He'd be like, what is this? What brand is this? I'm like, okay, fine. You hold the baby, I'll go.
Yep. You spend time with them now. My time. Actually, I think I've heard some people say like they'll be like, "I'll do the grocery shopping just so they can have that mommy moment," and they'll go out and like stop at like Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks or something, be like, get their little thing, do their own little stuff, and then come back.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
I'll take that as a note on what I should do.
Starbucks.
Yeah, we actually have a Dunkin' Donuts like right down the road. Not like I could, if I wasn't pregnant right now, I could walk there and like get my drink. And I think he's falling asleep.
I think he is too. Are you gonna fall asleep there? Let's see if we can feed you a little bit before we go to sleep.
There you go.
No, we're just gonna fall asleep. Okay.
He was so excited that he's like, I'm done.
I know. Let me put him in his bassinet real quick. That's
Absolutely.
right.
While you're doing that, I'm just going to say hello to some people that came in. Hello, Thin Blue Lane. How are you guys doing? Oh, you just got home from the pool with your daughter and her hubby. Oh man, I wish I could go in the pool. Oh, we do have a pool here. Unfortunately, there's just too many kids and stuff running around, and it's not really as enjoyable right now when you're pregnant and they're all in the area that you want to be in. And you're just like, I just want to float with my big old belly. And we also have KT Spirit here. Hey, hi, moms.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. I believe that is a link to your channel. We also have it down in our description. So a lot of the videos that you mentioned, if you want, head down there after the live stream, or if you're able to right click and open up another screen, feel free to check out those RV mods that you did. I will say that crib thing is really cool. We're just going to do a pack and play because we want to be able to use that inside the house and then also outside at the same time. So that's what we chose. And honestly, we didn't, your little Reno came after our purchase of the pack and play. So, but I will say, our mid bunk, we did have a couch and a bunk bed on top of it. We sold the couch. We got rid of the couch and we brought the bunk bed part down. So I'm going to probably sleep in there in the first couple of weeks next to the pack and play. And then that way, because Fabian, he's not going to be able to get time off like I am. So I'm going to allow him to be able to sleep at night and so forth. And I'll do the midnight stuff. And it just works out for us. But it's great that you guys have the bassinet and everything that you can put in your room. And, you know, I'm sure you double team.
Yes, I wanted him to, even though we are in a fifth wheel and is a smaller space, I still wanted him to be right there, especially in the first couple months. They're eating all day long. They're eating every couple hours. I'm formula feeding because he had issues and then allergies and stuff like that. So it's been nice because then Reno and I could take turns, and that's what we started doing because I was doing the same thing because I had the time off. Reno still had another few weeks of going to the school to work during the end of May, beginning of June. So I tried to do it all, but it was just so then we just started switching on and off. So then I'd be like, hey, I'll put him to bed, that Reno will wake up the next couple hours, then I'll do the next one, then he does the next one. And that has really helped to tag team it. That way we're each at least getting an even amount of sleep or some sleep. Actually, right now, he has been sleeping through the night, which has been really nice. He'll probably go down somewhere about 10-ish, and he'll wake up anywhere between 5 and 7. So it just depends on, so it's been really nice. I know we woke up one day, we're like, it's 6:30. Why is he waking up now? He's supposed to wake up at like 3:30. He had like his times where we knew around the time he would wake up because he started getting in this schedule. So it was like, why aren't you awake right now? This is, I checked on him. I was like, no, he's still breathing in there. Okay, we're good. But it was, it's been awesome, but it's also been an adjustment.
Yeah, and like you said, like whatever you plan and everything doesn't mean it's always going to go that way. Like how I have the plan of being in the baby room right next to him the whole time. Like just because I have it planned doesn't mean it's always going to happen, and so forth. So yeah, but at least if you plan, you feel a little bit more calm, and then when the real things happen, you're like, okay, I can
at
adjust.
least gives you like a base, like a baseline of where to start, and then what you can adapt from there. So that's been it's been nice, and most of the stuff has worked. Our little caddy that we have is like our best. I wish I had it with me. It's I think somewhere over there, but it's probably the best item I could have put on my registry. It's just a little cloth caddy and it has sections. So we put his diapers in one section. At night, we'll put his bottles and then a formula, little container formula that's already like pre-measured for his bottle. And then we have like wipes, his burp cloth, some medications that he uses as well. And we just bring it up to the bedroom and bring it down to the mid bunk, and it just goes with us throughout the RV. And it's probably the best thing you can get yourself is a caddy. It's really awesome because I was, again, space. We're like, where are we gonna put diapers and wipes up there? So you don't want to, travel middle of the night, come down here. I mean, even though it's not a lot of space, but you still don't want to come down here in the middle of the night, grab what you need, and go back up. So a caddy is your best friend.
That's good to know. We do not have a caddy yet, but we'll adjust accordingly, and I'll use that Amazon if need be. I think, didn't you mention that in the last video, or maybe in the what you have in the RV? Did you mention that? Yeah, so I'll just double check that one.
Yes, we have links to all the Amazon, all the stuff that we mentioned in the description box, so you can click on it. It'll be right there to make it more convenient for anybody who needs things.
Perfect. Yay! I'll utilize that later as things go on. And actually, speaking of RVers, Justin and Christina are here, and they actually live in a van, and they just had a little one. Granted, Michael is, I think, 1 now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But they travel around and everything in their van. They live up in Canada, and they have a dog, Angel. And they're actually supposed to come down from Mayberry, but I'm not sure if they'll be able to make it depending on the whole border thing and so forth. But yeah, they're a great channel to check out and everything. And living in a van with a little one, that might be interesting.
They're probably really organized. Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, in 15 months.
Awesome.
Yeah. So time is flying by.
Oh yeah.
So if anyone has any questions, we are about 40 minutes in, so we have about 20 minutes left. So if you have any questions, feel free to put that in the chat and so forth. I do have a couple of other questions, and so and they're going to be a little bit different because I've had other channels come on. They've had different age range and so forth. I've had some that had teenagers, some that had 6-year-olds and so forth. So I don't think you really could cover the whole what are you going to do for schooling part, because it's a little bit not in your realm right now. But for traveling and everything with him, I know you finally have the truck that can now pull the RV and so forth. Do you have any plans on where you would like to maybe make your first move with the little one, and when you may want to?
We actually, back in July, we didn't end up filming it. We got out of practice for a little bit once we had him, and then adjusting to parenthood and everything and his business. It was like everything hit all at once, so we weren't able to film that trip. But we actually took a trip in July, and it was very interesting traveling with a baby, a dog, and 3 cats, all in the backseat of the truck. And I think we have a picture of it on our Instagram, and it's probably one I laugh at every time, because you have the car seat, and then you have the cat carrier that has all 3 cats in it, and then the dog who's on the other side, and it's it was I wouldn't say a challenge, but it was very interesting to travel with a baby thing. What the beauty of living in an RV is, everything goes with you. So we didn't have to, pre-plan how we were going to pack things. So that is the one upside to having an RV with a baby, is that you have your house with you. So it wasn't that big of an adjustment. It was how long we were able to travel. Thankfully, I think we were only going like 3.5 hours, so it wasn't a super long trip. But we are going to, I believe, Joshua Tree in October. So that's going to be a long trip from us. I think it's about a 6-hour trip, 6 or 7 hour trip. So I think we have it planned to where we're going to leave Sunday after church, drive about halfway, stay the night, and then pick up and drive the rest of the way to give us time, because with the baby, then we have to take the dog out to the bathroom as well. Our cats will just stay in the carrier. They're fine. They're not as whiny, except for one of them. But the cat or the dog is very anxious when we drive. So that is our plan for our next trip.
Well, that'll be very interesting. Make sure you film it.
Yes, I think that one we are going to film. I think we're now getting into we're trying to get our groove back, as we say, so that should be filmed.
Yeah, it's for us, we just got this fifth wheel back in October, and we did a couple, we got it and we had to get it to where we're at now, but we've only been on the road and hooked up like maybe 3 or 4 times. So we did a baby moon where I don't know, my workmates were like, oh, it's like a honeymoon, but it's a baby moon before the baby comes. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So we went and we stayed at a harvest house for a night, and we wanted to test what it'd be like if we had no electric, and how our batteries were due, and how would we hook up and make it out of our area. Because where we're stationed right now, there's a lot of trees and RVs around us because we're at a campground. So we got that out of our system to just be like, okay, we can handle this. And if we have a little one, we could always go back to the same harvest house, because it's like less than an hour and a half away. And we can just go there, do a little trip if we want to. And we now learn that we need solar for sure, and more battery power.
Always more batteries.
Always more batteries. Because it'd be horrible if we actually tried that with a child first. And then find out.
Right.
So yeah. But yeah, I can't wait to see that happen and so forth. Actually, they are really planning ahead. They are going to eventually do cyber school with Mikkel when he comes of age. So
that's fun. I know we were talking about it too, when the time comes, whether or not we want to do homeschool or some sort of virtual learning, because we do eventually want to travel more as he gets older. Our goal is to see all the national parks. That's our goal. Don't know how long it's going to take, but that's our goal. So I don't think we'll put him in public school or our public school system, but again, we don't know when he comes to 5-6 years old what he will do, but definitely something at home is what our plan is at the moment.
Yeah, that's the same with us. We're planning on homeschooling as well and so forth. 5 years is a long, thinking ahead wise, and we don't even know what we're going to be doing next year. But I think it's great that, he's going to have at least 2 teachers that can help teach him a lot more. Yeah. And I mean, you're math, right? So
yeah, I'm in algebra 1, and I think Reno is in sophomore English. So
yeah, so math and English, he's never going to have an issue with. I might call you up and be like, yo, how do you do this? What's this one again?
Don't call Reno for math. I'm just letting you know now.
That's good to know. And who knows? We might end up on the road and we'll just be like, hey, see each other at a campground. Be like, hey, so what you doing? You know this math homework over here? Oh, so Christina and Justin, they may move from the east side of Canada to the west coast. Oh, that'd be really cool. That'd be really cool. And Darian said, when I see the title for this vlog, I thought your little one came early. Nope, not yet. I don't even know what I labeled it as. Well, I don't even know what I put the title as. You gotta love that. And those children are gonna school you.
I keep warning Reno with his Reno is like very witty and very quick with how he responds to things, and I keep telling him, I was like, I really hope he has your personality so he can give it right back to you. So I'm hoping. I can't wait to see the arguments back and forth. It's gonna be really fun.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. I hope our little one's more like Fabian, because I'm very headstrong type of person, and I'm a perfectionist, where Fabian's not really a perfectionist. So I need some more relaxation in my life, not too perfectionist going like, this is how it has to be. Oh, okay, that's what I put. What to expect while RVing featuring. Okay. Well, yeah, we are expecting, and she already had it.
I did.
Oh, and so Michael is already schooling us, and he doesn't even talk yet.
Right? Oh, man.
Yeah. I love how when families come in and everybody comes in and says a little bit here and there. It really does help with the live, because then you can like hear other people and their experiences and so forth. Yeah. So, do you have anything that you want to talk about before I go into any more questions? Like anything that you want to pass on for information or anything like that?
I just think that if you are living full time in an RV, just know that you can do it. Having a baby and a fifth wheel can be done, and you just have to get very creative and have a plan for some sort of storage and organization. I think that's the biggest key, and that's what we're still adjusting to right now.
Absolutely. And we also have to worry about weight. So you can't always have a bunch of stuff.
Yes. Weight has been, that's why we have the cloth dressers and things like that, because you do have to think of weight. You know, how am I going to get my necessities but still be able to be under the weight or at the weight limit that we need to be at?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, do you think you're going to try to have any more in the future?
We'll see. I always said I would like 2 or 3, and then after my pregnancy and labor, I'm like, I may just want 1, but again, you never know. In the future, I could, you never know. So I never want to say never, but definitely not at the moment.
Understood. Me, I'm like, oh, this pregnancy is going great. Let's just pop out another one right away. Just get it all done with.
I had a very, very hard pregnancy. I didn't enjoy it. And everybody is completely different with their experiences. My pregnancy was horrible. As I said, I really don't want to be negative, but it was. And I kept thinking, oh, maybe the labor is going to be, great. No. It just kept going, and I'm like, okay, we're just gonna keep rolling with this. So actually, like right after I had him, I actually, even though I was super dizzy in the hospital and everything like that, like my mental state was complete, like so much better. So I was like, okay, I'm good now. So, well,
your long process of getting to the 9 months to pop them out was so hard that it was like, okay, get this right on out.
No, you don't have to listened to that eviction notice. It was, you're a good listener.
If it was the other way, like me, where it's like, oh, this is super easy. I never got sick or anything. I was like, yeah, this is great. Here you go. And now watch labor be like 5 days later. I'll be like, ugh.
Right. It's like I said, it's all everybody's different. Even yourself, your pregnancies can be completely different. From what I've been told, everybody told me, oh, your second pregnancy could be better and everything. So again, I'm not ruling it out, but at the moment, I'm good with this one right here.
Understand. Oh yeah, and well, of course, Justin and Christina live in a van, so yes, you always are constantly downsizing and paring down. But we can't stuff in the in-laws if needed. So yeah, I don't think your in-laws can fit in your little van. My mom is planning on coming and helping and so forth. So this lovely couch that I'm sitting on will have her staying here at the same time. Because like I mentioned, Fabian's not really going to have the time off like I do and so forth. So it'd be nice. She's actually in Kentucky. So she's driving like 13 hours to be here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we were thankful we had Reno's mom. My mom actually had knee surgery about a week before I went to labor. So she actually couldn't be in the delivery room with me and couldn't, she was in recovery and everything. So, but I was able to have 2 people in the labor and delivery, which was nice. So that changed just before. So that was good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we're allowed to have one, but I'm grateful that they're still allowing one because I don't know if I can handle without.
No.
My grandma actually said, like, wait, my grandma on my dad's side, my dad's mom, was like, yeah, for all my kids, they weren't allowed to have the men in there, and I was like, whoa.
Oh wow.
I was like, that's interesting. So. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm spoiled.
I was like, I don't think I could have done that by myself. Nope. But
not at all. Not at all. Oh, KT Spirit, it was worth every minute, eh? Just look at the little one's face.
Yeah, he was definitely worth it. That's for sure. And I'll just hold it against him later on when he's like 15 and being a teenager. I'll remind him of that moment.
Well, you have video of it. You can just be like, watch this.
Watch all that.
Everything right there. Oh, you're thinking about having kids? You love your girlfriend? Oh, this. No, watch this.
This is your education right here.
That's right. Fabian wants to record the whole thing. Like he wants to have, his brothers gave him the idea to put a GoPro on so they can see like whatever he's seeing. But he wants to be like down where the doctors are at with a camera showing everything. Yep.
Oh man.
I said, go ahead.
Reno said that throughout the whole pregnancy, he was like, he kept saying, it just reminded me because your grandma said that the men weren't allowed. He was like, I was born in the wrong time. I should be in the waiting room with my cigar waiting for the baby to come out. Because he didn't want to be, he's like, I don't want to see anything. I just, I'll stand right there. And he happened to hold a leg and ended up seeing the whole thing. He said it wasn't as traumatizing as he thought it was going to be, but we actually planned on filming the process, not that, but because everything happened so fast that you couldn't film. Reno just got lucky with he took the his phone and he just happened to take video as he was put on my chest and things like that, and he managed to get video of me coming out of the ambulance. So but yeah, we even brought the cameras. We had all the cameras packed. I even tried when I was having contractions throughout the day, I even had the GoPro and just was filming things, and couldn't do it.
No, hey, at least he got something, and And yeah, he'll be holding it against you. And KG Spears says, I can hear it now. I wish I was never born.
Right. No, it is, everybody tells you it goes by so fast. And it even just in 3 months, I feel like I just gave birth to him. I feel like I blinked and I'm like, how are you 3 months now? Like, how? It's insane how fast it goes. So I'm sure I'm going to get there with I hate you, Mom. I wish I'd never been born.
You're going to go back through the videos and you'll be like, oh, look how sweet you were. Why are you this way now? Why are you your father? Right. That's so funny. All right, so we have about 3 minutes left. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to start typing them into the chat or anything you want to say. Before we start wrapping up, the chat does have a little delay to what actually we see or what I can see and so forth. So if you type anything now, it'll probably take a couple seconds before I can see it. But I do want to say thank you, Jessica, for joining us and so forth.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I know I'm on the East Coast, you're on the West Coast, so I really appreciate you making the times work and everything. All your information, definitely about the caddy, will be taken into consideration for sure. And I know I can reach out to you if I have any questions at like 2 a.m. and be like, yo, what the heck? Do you want to say what type of RV you have and so forth? So for everybody that's watching,
we have an open range 371 MBH. So it's the mid bunk model, and it's 42 feet, and it has 4 slides.
Perfect. And you did some renovations to it. So, and there's some videos on that.
Yes, we did do some renovations. We started painting during the pandemic, as everybody, when you're home, you're staring at everything, what to do. And then we actually turned our little cabinet space under the TV into a coffee bar. So that's been nice. And we do have some plans for this area that you're seeing and over by the couch area of switching things up a little bit. Once we save up for that, we're probably going to film a lot of that and then show that once it's done.
Perfect. I can't wait to see them. I might have to steal some ideas. And let everybody know how they can find you. What social medias do you use and so forth?
Yes, so we have Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and it's all Garcias On Wheels. So that's how you will find us. We're mainly, I mainly use Instagram and YouTube. The Facebook page does get a lot of the stuff from the Instagram. We're trying to utilize Facebook a little bit more, but Instagram has been a lot easier for me to use daily. So you'll get more daily updates on the Instagram. And obviously our YouTube channel will have our videos that we film. There actually should be one coming out here either tomorrow or Monday that Reno filmed earlier this week. So that's exciting.
Oh, yay. Can't wait to see it. Yay. So, all right. Justin and Christina, they have a 21-foot road track, 190 I'm going to say that word wrong. So where's Reno? So for my English can get better.
Versatile. Versatile.
So they have a Class B van.
Okay. Well, I do math.
This is why I need an instructor. But I want to say thank you again. I want to say thank you to everybody that has joined us tonight. We do have another video coming out 6 o'clock Eastern about our little travel over in Montana. And we do Saturday Night Lives every Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So make sure that you subscribe, like, and follow us, and make sure that you keep proceeding onward in your adventures. And until next time, thank you, Jessica, and thank you to everyone that joined us.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.